Hello out there. Well, I've decided to make a short little uh, video, sort of part two, how to make a 300% shackle part two. And the reason for it is a few things that I want to bring up that I didn't bring up during the first part one of actually making one. So this is going to be short and just give you some additional things that I'm doing. Alright, first off, in the video, I make the shackle, the 300% shackle, and I remove two strands from the knot side berry. In other words, the tails from the knot. I remove two strands that go the full length of the buried portion. You don't really have to do that. In fact, I don't know. I haven't tested it, but it may be stronger not to even bother. This one, I did not remove any strands during the berry portion of the shackle. Use it from the knot tails. So this particular one has all 12 strands running the full length of the berry, and this one has 10 strands running the full length of the berry. The test that I showed you, the test results that I showed you on the first video was a 10-strand berry. So you may get a little more strength on this, and then you may not. It just depends. I don't. At this point, I'm not looking at doing more testing to find that out, but it just seems to stand to reason. The more strands, the stronger it is. Okay, that given, there was a suggestion of doing an additional pull in the very beginning after making the knot in order to tighten the knot, and the reason for it is in here that the cover, as the knot tightens, the part where you enter the tails into the cover tends to move down, and you have this section where the tail is not in the cover. Okay, it sounds good. However, I found that if you do that, you're not pulling down the top of the knot, and then when you go and put this thing in actual use, and you get into a situation that requires all the strength you can get out of it, the tails are not going to be as tight as the cover. So what happens in that aspect is that the tensional forces are applied more to the cover than the tail, because the tail is not under the same amount of tension, and I think you can lose strength through that. And also, when you notice when you're tying the knot, when you're tightening the knot, you will see that as the covered portion, the actual body material that goes into the knot to form it, is very tight as it first goes in, and for the first little wrap here gets really tight, but as it goes through, all that tension is being absorbed in the knot, and there's less and less as you go around the knot, so that you got, in a button knot, you got these four lobes like that are on the top of the knot, and I call it like a pinwheel. It looks to me like a pinwheel, but you'll find that when you pull this knot to tighten it, and the tail is in the cover, and you do it the way I showed you in the video, the two lobes that are part of the tail actually wind up tighter and further down than the two lobes that are coming up from the first go round from the body strands. So that tells me that if you don't pull down on the if you don't pull the tails inside the cover when you're tightening your knot, that your knot's going to be loose in the center, and you may have some issues as far as deforming and everything else. Just a note. Okay, so you got now a 12 strand, and you got the 10 strand. Oops, the 10 strand. There is a slight difference in the thickness. I don't know if you can see that kind of difference, just because you've got 2 extra strands going through. It's not much, but there is a little bit of thickness difference. Okay, while I'm there, by the way, this here is a 3/16 300%, made using 3/16 New England Dyneema versus the 1/4 inch. Again, you get about the same strength ratios. Okay, now I also alluded to my standard shackle in the first video, and the difference in the first my standard shackle and the 300% is I don't overlap the berries. So if you want a good, strong, tough shackle for normal use, I don't think you can beat my standard shackle. And the way you make that is very similar, except this is a 1/4 inch, so you would use, say, a 3/16 berry for the loop end. And you would do is you take the length that you want to use, put a mark about in the center, and then the first thing you do is you take and you measure your 3/16 that you got to bury, and you taper the first end. And that taper will be the reason for the taper is when you're making a small shackle and you don't have a lot of room here. You want to you don't have a lot of room to have the loop sticking out and putting a decent taper on it and then trying to get it under the cover. So what I do is I taper it first, and I introduce it into the cover and move it and bury it all the way around and come out the other end, and then slowly pull it so that the tapered end disappears, just disappears, so it would end right there. Now, the reason when you do that, you want to make sure that that is the side that you're going to pierce, okay, because the other side you have plenty of room to do a normal taper and bury, and that's the reason I taper one end of the buried 3/16 or 1/8 or whatever you want to use for a smaller shackle first, and then you you tie your regular diamond knot, and you bury your tails, and you come back and end your tails right at the same mark. So you basically have the 2 tail ends kind of meeting at that point. That is also where the shackle will eventually break. Under tests, they always break here. On a standard button knot shackle that does not include a bury over here, the break is also always up here in the loop. It tends to always be in the loop, whereas this one, it's back here, and because of that, you have more strength in this than you do in a standard button knot. So here is my standard with the bury shackle versus a 300%. You can see the difference right away of the thickness is back here. One nice thing about the 300% shackle is this presents a much larger area for a line to go around. If you're going to put this through a splice loop or so, you have a lot more line, and the bigger the loop can remain under load, the better it is for double braid and so forth. Okay, so that pretty much does it. Thank you all for your comments and for watching my first video, and at this point, thanks again, and goodbye.